Hey Frankie, you know last time I don't even dare talk to girls one.
You sure or not? But you are always the talker.
So I used to be very shy and I shared this story last week in our event. Maybe we can start by sharing one thing that the audience will discover when they watch this video today.
One thing for sure you'll find out is our love story when we were in our 20s.
I think more importantly also for those of you who are dating right now, thinking about marriage, or are single, thinking about how to prepare yourself to enter into a relationship. I think this is definitely an episode worth watching. But before we go on, we have to thank Guinness who worked with us to make our on-ground activity happen with our audience, where we had a sipping time with Mr. Money.
Yep, I remember we had a good time connecting with you guys on ground, and hopefully for those who couldn't join us on that day, can come and join us in our next events in the future.
Do let us know in the comments below, say next, so that we know you guys would want to come and join us in an on-ground event. By the way guys, just like our last video where we picked one of you viewers for a lucky surprise, and what will it be?
It will be an omakase session with both of us.
Yes, and the rules are the same. Just count how many times we said sip sip
Hooray!
hooray in the video. Leave your answer in the comment and we'll pick one lucky winner. Hey, but Frankie, what about last week's winner?
To see whether you have won the omakase session with us, check the comments below because we have left the name of the winner down there.
If it is you, do DM us on our Instagram. Now, enjoy the show. Sip sip! Hooray! Hooray! So now, we're going to share with you a little bit on our own perspective when it comes to dating. For me, since I was young, I could talk, right? I love talking. But I've got one problem, man. Whenever I meet a girl, I don't know how to talk. Wow, brothers, I feel you. Yeah. So I can talk a lot, but at the moment I look at the girl that I like, I only know how to smile. Let me tell you the next part of that story of that girl that broke up with me. So I continued liking her until I was 15 years old. And everyone knows that until one day, I casually asked another friend, hey, how's she doing? Then she just broke up. I was like, ooh, yeah, opportunity, right? Yeah, she just broke up. So then at the time when I heard that she just broke up, I wrote her a love letter. You know I wrote her a love letter? I go popular, I go and buy poem book, you know. I go and copy different poems and then mash into my own poem. 1 week later, her friend came to me again. That friend said, go and talk to her, bro. I was like, yes, sir. I wait for 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, I go and talk to her. She looked at me. No. But what happened is that later, as I grew older, I stopped caring about dating at one point in my life. I kind of went to this position where like, you know what? Just forget it. I don't care whether people like me or not or anything. And for a period of time in my life, I didn't bother going out looking good. I didn't bother what people think about me. And actually, I do care. I care a lot about what people think about me. But I don't care from the outside. That half a year of journey kind of built a lot of confidence in myself because somehow you start not caring and you start becoming more confident. Not caring is just as in I don't care about what people think. I like to wear what I wear what. I like to say what I say what to a certain extent.
Not caring as in be yourself lah.
Correct.
Be yourself.
Yes, be myself. Then later I spent a lot of time working on my own confidence. But what do I mean by that, right? It's not very conscious. It's not like I want to be confident. No. It's just that I started taking part in a lot of activities and focus on doing well in those activities. Half a year later, when I went to uni, suddenly, a lot of girls like me.
What car did you drive?
A Kanchil.
Oh.
But because no girls got a car there, so they have to depend on you to fetch them. And because I didn't bother whether they like me or not, I just can talk normally suddenly. I'm more focused on doing well in my co-curricular activities. And then I have a lot of connection. I go out with friends, I go drink with friends. I just enjoy my life, right? And then girls started being more attracted to me automatically. I do not know why. And so I was in another phase of my life where I didn't know how to handle whether a girl liked you or not.
So you had so many girlfriends at one point in time.
So every time I get into a relationship, most of the time is because when the girl like me, I don't know how to deal with it. Whether you're ready or not, right? I will still say yes one. You end up falling into a relationship not because you are confident, not because you are ready, but because you just need to play along. Because what if she don't like you 3 months later? So what happened is that you get into a relationship for this what if. For some people, it works out well. For me, it didn't work out very well. Right? So every time I end up getting myself into trouble. What happened is in my next 2 relationship I learned, the last before I got married, I learned 2 very important lessons. The first one is when I had that girlfriend, and what happened is that whenever we had an argument, the center that go into my eye is, maybe this shouldn't happen. That's why we are fighting. Because of that, went to break up, and my next relationship, I overcompensate. The answer is, whatever you do, I'm still willing to work on it. And it went to the other extreme of sacrificial habits, right? Just give in. And then I learned that, okay, you also shouldn't have that. But after that, then I met my wife, which I wasn't thinking about dating or anything else. We just went out. After that, I was quite attracted. And within 1 month, I proposed. In 3 months, we got married. But ultimately, up to today, we have one kid who's 6 years old, one kid who's a 3-year-old, and we are very happily married. So that is for me, my journey in a relationship.
For me, my spectrum is not so big. So me and my wife, we were university mates. But we never see eye to eye because she's always the top student who gets the scholarship. And I'm the guy who like to go and play. But how do I do with my homework? I got a very good classmate, right? So I would say, hey, can I copy a bit, right? Because she also shy a bit. She don't know how to say no. So she would lend it to me. So that's why she didn't really like me that much. She's like, this guy come again. I know what he wants now. Even without me asking that. Take lah. But make sure you change the words, if not got plagiarism. That was the relationship that we have. So fast forward after graduation, she's the kind of person who keeps all the classmates together. She would organize gatherings for all the friends. And I was a little bit annoyed with that. Because once in a while is fine, But to do that like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks is like, hey, I need to work one way. Then in one of those occasions, she said, this is going to be the last time that I'm going to do this. Then I was like, why? Oh, because I got a posting in Australia, so I'm going to go to Australia. Last time I was very annoyed when she texted me, right? Then at that moment, suddenly nobody going to kacau me already. For some reason, from that point onwards, I started texting her and say, hey, so how's your posting in Australia? Have you found your place to stay? Do you need me to check and see whether the price is fair or not? That kind of stuff. So conversation started flowing. And then she said, hey, why not you come to Australia, since you helped me to find an apartment, so nice, I can show you around. Hey, that's very...
Hey, wait, I thought you were in Malaysia. How you help her find an apartment in Australia?
Online lah, brother.
Oh, resourceful, sir!
But then so happened that time, my uni mates in Europe say, hey, we are planning a trip. We are going to Hungary. Then like, hey, Hungary more interesting than Australia, ma. So I said, okay, I will find one day. I will go there. But I went to Hungary. So she thought, okay lah, this guy maybe got no feelings for me. So okay, no more already. Then after that, she got posted back to Malaysia. Then we started to go out again. Then from there, then it started that momentum again. Then eventually I find one day and say, okay lah, I think this is probably the girl that I want to be together with. So I went to a space, I put candles, then I bought a cake, then I asked her to be my girlfriend on that night. So that's how we got together.
Sip sip! Hooray! Hooray! What we're going to do right now, we're just going to give a brief idea on the money part, how we work towards that and how does it relate to us as a man. Now, obviously, this up to personal. It's up to you how you want to think about it. For ladies out there as well, please don't go and impose our value on your boyfriend or your partner. It will not be fair as well. I myself is rather traditional, like I say, but I'm a strong believer that if the person can't go through with me in difficulty, you don't deserve to go through with me in, good times as well. If you're not there during bad times, you shouldn't be here during good times. I think that's why relationship is always give. In that sense where you just got to trust, right? And because of that also it gets me into trouble because very often I do the trusting part and sometimes I may not be well written back and I don't feel fairly compensated or fairly treated, therefore in the end it leads to a breakup. But does it mean that what I say is right? I don't think so as well now as I look at it on the hindsight. It's just different. That's all. I can think that like, hey, I did all this for you, but you didn't do all this for me. I think at the moment you start feeling that, talk to your partner. Then start telling yourself, let me give about 3 to 6 months to resolve this issue. And if you really still can't resolve, just acknowledge that both of you are different and ask yourself this question, should you still be there?
Right.
Frankie?
Well, I have a small episode in terms of money, but more on the emotional side of things. So after we got engaged, my fiancé got posted to Singapore. So I had to go to Singapore every weekend in order to see her and maintain that relationship. So initially, I fly right? Because just started and then I want to save time, right? I want to see her more, right? So I flew. After I fly for a while, a bit painful already. So I started to take bus. But the good thing about the finance side of things is that because she knows that I'm spending a lot of money traveling, so whenever I'm in Singapore, she would do all the spending on ground. So like go out and eat, go cinema, go do whatever activities, she will try to pay for most of the things. So that's how we balance in terms of finance. But the issue comes when one day I told her, I'm doing this every single week and I'm tired. Would you be able to come back sometimes so I don't need to go there? She told me the answer is no.
Ooh, then how do you deal with that?
She said, you have two solutions. One is you continue to come. Two is you wait for me until I go back, then only you see me. But I can tell you, I am the kind of person who cannot deal with not seeing a person for too long. So I just need to bite the bullet and continue. That's why I'm so sorry I couldn't see you for so long.
Cheers, bro. Cheers, bro. Sip, sip.
Hooray!
Hooray! Do you guys have any questions?
Have you guys ever thought of partner therapy?
Maybe I should answer this because I went to something like that. All of you people out there, go for a pre-marriage course. Whether or not you are getting married. At the moment you date, you think you want to be serious with this person, go for a pre-marriage course. So I went for a pre-marriage course. My pre-marriage course, it was a 6-week session. In that 6 week, what they do is that they play a video and then they raise up certain questions and then you discuss yourself, that's all. For example, one of the episode they talk about is, are you behaving more like a rhino or are you a porcupine? Which means that you need to get the problem settled fast. Like for example, if the person doesn't like it, you want to talk it out and you're talking out now, you want to have a solution now. But the other person could be a hedgehog, right? The person will say, I want to avoid the issue. Let's not talk about it until I am ready. And that could take days. So what happened is that as a rhino, you'll feel rejected because this person doesn't want to deal with it. For a hedgehog, they feel like you're too invasive. Why are you not giving me space? It's just different way of communicating. So what happened is that they will encourage you to reflect and talk about all this. Then they'll talk about money. They'll talk about children. They will even talk about what if there is infidelity, such as cheating. Can you deal with it? How does it work? All these kind of things, you will have a very in-depth conversation for 6 weeks. Literally, almost every week, we will talk until like either very intense, sometimes we'll cry, sometimes we'll be very happy. But I tell you, that's probably my best 6 weeks investment in my life. Do understand, I got married within 3 months. So I think that's something that you all should go. Subsequently, after married, I go to marriage course. Again, it's a 3 to 6 weeks as well. Every 3 to 4 years, I actually go back once to attend the marriage course. And then you start throwing out all your trauma. Marriage course, trust me, you're going to cry a lot more. And again, it is worth bracing the jam for me going to KL for 1 hour, spending 2 hours there, and then talk it out with my wife. In my opinion at this point, a course is better than a therapy, especially if you're not ready. Why? Therapy means that someone is going to stand there and guide you. The someone stand there and guide you can be very dangerous. Because if that person has certain bias, it will kill your relationship. So the course is good because it's just a video and then you talk it out yourself. So I think at the early stage, if you don't have some sort of a crisis in your marriage, you don't need someone to intervene, maybe a course is better. All right, last time, sip, sip. Hooray! Frankie, it was a great time the other day, right?
Yeah, I feel a bit embarrassed and shy because I share a lot about my personal life.
But is there anything that is a good takeaway for our audience out there?
I think a true relationship comes from the heart, right? Financial side, I think both the partners will find ways to sort it out.
I think it's very true. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you want to be in a relationship where you can go through the thick and thin together. And you can only do that if you really have the patience and love for each other, right? So if let's say in a relationship, everything you have to calculate, that's very susah lah. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's about both doing their best to give each other the best that they can.
Yep.
We hope those of you out there, if you are in a relationship, we wish you a happy relationship. If you're married, we wish you a happy marriage. And those of you who are still single, look for the right person. If you can't find the right person, rather be single, okay?